Hello, welcome to another Berlin-Peck Memorial Library Take and Make video tutorial. Today we'll be making string Easter eggs. Here's what you'll need to make your string Easter eggs. Included in your kit are water balloons, glue, and embroidery floss. You'll also need a bowl, a spoon, some water, scissors, and a plastic plate or some wax paper. The first thing you need to do is to cut your embroidery floss into shorter lengths. I am working with lengths of floss that are about 1 yard long, but you can cut them as short or as long as you wish. 1 feet to 2 feet, especially if you're working with a child, would be a little more manageable so it doesn't get tangled. If you're more comfortable, you can do longer lengths like I have. But you're going to have need about 12 to 15 feet of embroidery floss, depending on the size balloon and how big you blow up your balloon. The next thing you need is to make your balloons. So I have already blown up this water balloon, and when you just blow it up, you'll notice it's fairly round. It doesn't look entirely egg-shaped, but if you give it a little bit of a squeeze, you can get a little bit more of an egg shape, and it will hold its shape when you start wrapping your thread around the balloon. Next, we need to mix up our glue. We're going to have glue and water basically in a 1-to-1 ratio, enough to make it pourable, but we don't want to water it down too much or our floss will not hold its shape once it's dried. So to that glue, I'm going to add some water. And just stir it up. And you can test how pourable it is by looking at it. I might add just a tiny bit more water to mine. Okay, that's good. Now we're just going to take each length of embroidery floss, and you want to make sure that when you put it in, it's not tangled, because it will be harder once you pull it out to untangle it. And we want to just coat this floss with the glue. Now find an end. And then as you pull it out, you just want to take some of the excess glue off of the thread. Now with the longer strand, I find it's easiest to just leave the excess in the bowl. If you're working with a shorter strand, you can pull the whole thing out all at once and then start putting it on your balloon. So we're going to put the string on the balloon, and we want to make sure that we go in alternate patterns and we kind of crisscross so that you can cover the whole balloon. The more you crisscross, the better structure the final egg will have. And as you can see, as I'm going along, I'm also just pulling some of that excess. Now you can see I got a little bit of a knot here, not too bad. Just worked out my knot. So if that happens, just put your egg down and carry on. When you get to an end, you can just stick it down and it will just hold its shape against the balloon, and go on to your next piece. Now we'll just set this aside and let it dry. Our egg is now completely dry. My egg has sat for a couple of days, and as you can see, the balloon inside has shrunk up a little bit, but most of the ones I made still had the balloon fully inflated, but it doesn't really matter. You're going to follow the same procedure to remove the balloon no matter what has happened. So what we want to do is kind of pop the balloon inside and then pull it out. You can use a pair of tweezers. I'm just using scissors. And you can see it's still stuck here at the bottom. So since I'm grabbing hold of the top of the balloon, and I'm going to use my scissors to poke a hole in the balloon so it will deflate. Sometimes you will see that the balloon will still stick a little bit to some of your string. So you just want to gently loosen those areas. Make sure that it comes all the way loose. Once it's free, you can pull your balloon out and your egg is finished.